have been emotionally affected by the testimony of Mike Applegarth. I've known Mike Applegarth since he worked for Senator Tim Leslie. I have found him to be, like all human beings, the quest of being the best you can be as a human being. None of us are perfect. We're only perfect in the image of our faith, in the basis of our faith, without going any further than that. Mr. Applegarth is a man of faith, and he has challenged us and challenged the staff to allow him to exercise his freedom on his own time off, to step to the podium, to explain what he has personally gone through. I would hope that everybody would protect Mike Applegarth from what has happened to many employees in the past. I am compelled now to explain a couple of things, like Supervisor Briggs. Supervisor Briggs and I, it's very commonly known that the two of us have differences. But what he has just said is something that I will concur with. That we are products of our life experiences that make us who we are and who has brought us to who and where we are today. As a little boy, I grew up in an environment. My mother and father had a child that was born with Down syndrome, and she was bullied. And I tolerated zero bullying, and I stood up for my sister. Won't go any further than that, other than I engaged in the defense of my sister. And as I grew up, I would never tolerate bullies. In the mid-1970s, we appointed the Auditor Controller. A man by the name of George Cottrell was the subject of a closed session item, and Joe Harn was present during that meeting. We evaluated Mr. Cottrell in closed session.
Madam Chair, may I just interject that closed session
Way off
information
track.
is
I
statutorily
understand, but
privileged.
so go ahead and tell me what you want to say, and I'll respect it.
Closed session information is statutorily privileged and confidential.
Okay, I will not talk about the outcome of the closed session item, but I will tell you that when I walked from that room to my car, I was approached by the Auditor Controller, nose to nose, and he was spitting mad, sticking his finger into my chest. I felt threatened. And
I'm confused. Who are we talking about here?
I'm not going to give names.
You said mid-70s. Joe Harn didn't graduate from high school till 76.
Sorry, mid-90s. Okay, I can stop here. That's fine. If the board is not
Good.
interested, but I'm just telling you my experiences. I'm going to tell you that as a man, I do not let any other man intimidate me, and there was an encounter. Let's jump to when I first got elected in January of '09, and Supervisor Santiago and I dealt with employees, and the same situation occurred. It was a different board at that time, but the same situation occurred with Supervisor Santiago and I dealing with the exact same behavior. The next, and I'm not talking about one, but dozens and dozens, and I've been around a long time. The last behavior was, and I was not part of the vote, but the last behavior is that I approached elected officials that were way overpaid and getting bonuses, and I did not participate in this board's vote. But Supervisor Briggs, even though we are having our challenging times, brought it to the board, and he voted to take those bonuses away. But as a result, I told that elected official to be paid the third highest in the state with bonuses just because he qualified for that job. Maybe the board voted for that, but it was wrong.
Okay, I
Now,
knew.
the board settled down.
Wait.
Who authorized those pay raises?
Excuse me. We're getting off
Lord.
track. I'm sorry. With all due respect, we're getting off track.
Let me finish up real quick, other than we have a report in front of us that deals with recommendations. And the recommendations I totally respect. I do respect that we need to move forward, but the public's interest should be first. The county employees need to be respected. We have information that has not occurred. And the employees are expecting action. And Supervisor Veerkamp, you and I have a high level of respect for years, and I, as a supervisor, have a right, just like you, to an opinion. And so,
I'm gonna give mine in about, hopefully, 2 minutes.
so all I would expect is that these folks that have brought the information, our personal experiences, our collective knowledge, is we have a duty to the citizens and a duty to our county employees to bring the best and to deliver the best service to our citizens. For Mike Applegarth to put what he said into the public record compelled me to say what I said now. I would not have said it if Mike did not walk up to that podium. But out of respect for Mike, I said what I said.